Okay, y'all, I am back. So, I told y'all that I was coming back with 2 more vitamins to present to y'all that I have added into my daily regimen, into my lifestyle, and I hope that this can bring you some insight, something you may want to try, something you may want to research. Hopefully it's helpful, right? If not the first review for the lysine. If y'all didn't check that out, please go check that out. Let me know what you think. Maybe these probiotics could be helpful. If not, that's all right, right? One of the 2 or both. And then stay tuned for the 3rd one. And then we're going to see if 1 out of the 3 things that I reviewed could be helpful to you. As y'all know, I do product reviews. I am not sponsored by any of these companies, okay? At this point in my YouTube and reviewing career, I am not sponsored by any of these companies. I am giving y'all the real truth, the raw, the rugged with my own experience, with me spending my own coin, honey, and me risking my body, my life, my well-beings just to see based off of research that I found if these things really work or not. So without further ado, let's drop and get up into this, boo. Let's get up into this, okay? So we are reviewing, and this is for the ladies, right? Because it's a women's daily probiotic. This is for the ladies. Now, if there's, I know there's probiotics obviously for men, but these are specifically for ladies. So I just want to give you the lowdown on this, okay? This is the Garden of Life doctor formulated probiotics, once daily women's vaginal digestive immune system supporter, okay? This is the 50 billion guaranteed, 16 probiotic strands. It supports women's health, the immune system, and the digestive system. These ones are gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. I need those kinds of things because for those of you that do know, y'all know I'm gluten-free. But if you didn't know, now you know, okay? So let me tell y'all about these and why they're so important to me. I've told this story, so if you've been on my channel for some time, you know that I dealt with having stomach pains and just all kinds of stomach stuff going on and not understanding what was going on. My stomach pains had progressed from 2020, the end of it, I'd say, beginning 2021 to about 2022. In 2020, when the pandemic started, I did the opposite of a lot of people. I was like, I'm not sitting in a house. I'm not gonna sit here and binge and be eating all this food. I'm already a thick madame, honey, but baby, I ain't trying to gain no extra weight, okay? So I was working out. I was doing like these whole hearty, like strong, like diets, right? Going crazy. Lost a good amount of weight. And at that point, it was about maintaining. Now, during that time of doing like the workouts and taking a lot of things out of my diet and stuff, that also meant that I was taking out gluten. I'm telling y'all this backstory because it's going to make sense to probiotics, and then I can get into why I like the probiotics, okay? So fast forward, it came to the fact that it was time to maintain. And I was like, okay, let's see if I can just continue my like health journey, just eating normal. Like they say, right? You can have different foods in your diet, just moderation, portion control, all that good stuff. I noticed instantly when I reintroduced what now I can say properly, gluten, I instantly did not feel well. At that time, the only way I could describe it was whenever I ate simple carbs, right? Which is rice, breads, pastas, all this stuff, I felt sick. I felt nauseous. I felt fatigue. I always had a headache. Always had to use the restroom. right? Could not leave the house and risk eating anything. I would have to fast when I went outside because I didn't know what was causing my stomach to hurt, okay? So that's something I dealt with, and it just got worse and worse over the time, and I was always bloated and inflamed and didn't know why. Then I started breaking out in hives and all this craziness, and I was like, I gotta get to the doctor and figure out what's going on. Let's fast forward a little bit more. I ended up breaking out, going to all this stuff, go to the doctors, take all these tests, blood work, samples, all this stuff. I even did a endoscopy, a colonoscopy, and all this crap, and still couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. Doctors is like, this is weird. Finally, they're like, well, the only thing we can think of is to do like the different food tests, right? Like the food map, like, you know, taking out foods that could like trigger irritable bowel syndrome, taking out foods that could possibly trigger gluten issues, all this stuff. I did all these things, y'all. I needed to also do it because my CPR, which is the inflammation test, was so high. They was like, your inflammation in your body is extremely high. That's dangerous because something's not working right in there. So I did that or whatever, right? And then they was like, you need to bring your inflammation down. You need to get your gut right. And then I took out gluten. And lo and behold, what was the problem? Gluten. Gluten was my problem. So I'm telling y'all all this because this is a review on probiotics, but it's specifically telling you how it has also helped with my gluten issues and other issues. So I want y'all to understand, right? This is a review that is about some of the gluten things that I've found a problem for me that can help my other fellow gluten intolerant and celiac family members out there, and also how probiotics can help you with other things, okay? So this is all tied in. If you're not interested in this part, fast forward, okay? So I figured that out. I have a high gluten intolerance. I tested in the numbers that they take for celiac patients, and I'm right underneath the markers of celiac, so I'm not deemed as a celiac patient, but I do have a high intolerance to it. So I can basically react the way somebody celiac possibly can, right? Right? I know they're different, but they're very similar, right? So I looked into taking probiotics, and I was like, okay, we're going to do this thing because I need to get the gut right. I need to reprogram myself, and I need to get this inflammation down. I started taking probiotics with that in mind because it helps the digestive system, as I told y'all. But I had also did some research, and they were saying that obviously that's why this one's called Daily Women's, Health. I found out that probiotics can also help with balancing out women's hormones. So this is where this other part comes in. Women's health, right? Our reproductive system, our hormone situation going on. So hopefully this is helpful more than just the fact of just taking a probiotic. It's helpful for different reasons. I was like, well, honey, because I've done reviews. If y'all been on this page, I've done reviews about how I've always had extreme cramps, extreme period flows, and it needed to go, okay? And so anyways, I've been taking this probiotic since July of last year. And let me just tell y'all, within knowing that I needed to go gluten-free last June, I instantly felt a difference by taking gluten out. But then adding these vitamins, these probiotics in July, I felt like my stomach having less pains. I felt like my digestive system was just better. I just felt different. Then what happened was I was taking these little suckers, and I decided to take it on the day, if I'm not mistaken, I decided to freaking take it on the day that my period was due. Now, doing research, there's nothing found in studies that says that probiotics is supposed to shift the period. But I'm just telling y'all my experience and my take on probiotics. The period for me did not even come that day. Because I started taking the probiotics, it stalled my period. And they try to say it isn't proven that probiotics can shift the cycle. I'm telling you flat out, it stalled my period for a week. Now, I was kind of annoyed because I had a girls' trip to take, but it was what it was. Now, that was a con. So I'm just saying that there is a possibility that can happen to you. But baby, the pros outweigh the MFing cons. Y'all hear what I'm saying? The pros outweigh it. Now, fast forward, I kept taking the probiotics, kept taking them anyways, and then my period came back on track. When I tell y'all, this is like the testimony. When I tell y'all that my periods being on probiotics have literally felt like non-existent, I can't even believe it. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm 30-something years old. I've been having a period since I was 12 years old. I have never had a period that was not heavy, that didn't have extreme cramps, that didn't make me feel like I wanted to go jump off a damn cliff. You hear what I'm saying? My period with these probiotics became light as a feather. For the first time in my life, I was able to experience what the hell a light period even looked like. Then I would not get cramps as much. Now, some months, you'll still feel a little something. But none of the cramps amounted to the bad cramps that I had in the past. The bleeding was not as heavy anymore. And I appreciate it. Now, I'm not at a year yet taking probiotics. But I can say in the months evaluating from July down to like December, I've seen a difference. Now, fast forward. When December came, the period did stall a little bit. Instead of me being on like a 31-day, 32-day cycle that I'm normally on, it started to come 36 days, 35 days. But then I was speaking to the doctor and I've done research and they're like, a normal cycle can be anywhere from like 28 days to, I don't know. I'll put the numbers in here for sure, like a little clip it, but I believe that it's 28 days to about 38 days, something like that. It's considered a normal cycle. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So not necessarily did it make my periods late, but it made the cycle longer. Now, no one's complaining to have a 38-day cycle versus a 28-day cycle, but it can be a little bit inconvenient because when you're used to it coming monthly, the fact that it goes past 31 days, that's not a month and like an extra couple days, almost an extra week. So that can be a little bit of a hindrance because if it does change and you're not really sure that it's changing, that can be a kind of a pain in the booty. But baby, other than that, I like taking my probiotics. I take them not every day because it is daily, but I almost feel like because of it tripping up the period a little bit for me personally, I was like, maybe it's a little strong, right? Because there's different strands, there's different like amounts, right? In the billions. So I was like, maybe me taking it every other day might help me and make a difference, right? So I would just suggest, if you can take them, take it every other day to start to see how you feel. Don't take it when your period is due. I would say probably start it right after the period that, you'll be finishing up, and then you could start the probiotics and just keep an eye on it. I mean, it's a vitamin, right? And I don't see how much harm it can cause you. Again, I'm not a medical professional, okay? So consult with your doctor. and make the right decisions for yourself. But all I'm saying is baby, and this is no refrigeration required. Baby, gold. You hear what I'm saying? Gold. So get on Amazon and get you some. This is the Garden of Life brand. So try it out. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you do take probiotics and how it's helped you. And tell a friend, tell a family member to come check out this video, honey, if they want to get some gems. Thank you.